Looking at audience. Look at audience. Look at audience.
It's me.
Sundance.
Come on, do it again in Sundance. You took
Two Sundances over.
no one.
Two Sundancers, 4 snakes.
One Sundance.
Two.
We do one Sundance.
You do two? 1, 2.
Lynn, do we do 2 Sundances or 1?
Music hall goes way back to the early 1800s, and there's big traditions in music hall. The biggest one of all is that music hall must have a chairman. And ladies and gentlemen, we have for you a most worthy chairman. Would you welcome your very own Strawberry Island, Mr. John Foster!
One, two, three, your very own John Foster!
Don't you look chummy tonight? You lot. Oh my goodness, you've all turned up. Even Ernie. Like your hat, mate, that's nice. Looking good. Well, we've got a great show tonight. We've got mystery, magic, music, and of course song. Have you got their voices intact, you know? No? Yes? Yes, on the Jeff, we've got Jeffrey on the piano. Liver out without the candles, we don't burn the place down. Right, let's sing it right then. Okay, Jeff, maestro, from the top, here we go. When you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. When you're laughing, the sun can shine through. And when you cry, be crying. Be happy again when you're smiling. When you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. All together now. Here we go. When you're smiling, when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. When we're laughing, the sun comes smiling with you. When we're crying, we're praying on the rain, stop it crying. Be happy again when you're smiling. When you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. Oh yes, you're doing well, great voices. Well, I see you all in a little drink down there, and I'm on my own up here, but what I have done tonight, I've got my butler. Brought my own butler in to have a little drink. The problem being with him, his name's Charlie, and Charlie's a little bit deaf. So we just might need a hand to get him up here. You ready? Charlie!
Charlie!
I just said he's a bit deaf. He's a bit deaf, you know, won't be deaf. Are you ready again? 1, 2, 3. Oh, I think somebody at the back's just not shouting. I think we'll go again from the top. 1, 2, 3. Charlie.
You nearly had that, Mr. Chairman.
I really did so. My God. Good evening, Charlie.
Yes, you nearly had that on my front, Mr. Chairman.
Well, don't worry about it.
This, you know, by the way, is coming with the compliments of Mr. and Mrs. Lovett.
Mr. and Mrs. Lovett.
Yes, and their 14
Really?
children.
And the daughter, they're at it again. Thank you very much, Mrs. Lovett.
See,
Absolutely.
but there is a condition.
A condition?
Yes, a
What?
condition.
A condition was a condition.
Well, you have to down it in one.
Down it in one. Impossible. Come on, that one in the script. I don't believe it.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's help our worthy chairman to down it in one. But start at 10 and see if he can. Are you ready? Are you ready, Mr. Chairman? Right then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Nice. Put the braces up.
Well done, Mr. Chairman. I knew you could do that.
Yeah, so did I.
I wonder where he puts it.
Oh my God. Never left sure of it.
Oh, before I go, Mr. Chairman, I have a little riddle for you.
I've noticed.
Little it may be, but it's got me into a lot of trouble.
What's a little
Well,
riddle?
this little riddle. Can you tell me, how do elephants make love underwater?
How do elephants make love underwater?
Yes, how do they make love underwater?
How do they make love underwater?
They take the trunks off.
I don't want to know that. Can't believe this thing. My goodness gracious, where are they getting them from? As I said, we've got great entertainment tonight. We have, at enormous expense, I didn't hear that, by the way, at enormous expense, we have the titillating, the delightful, the exciting, tantalising feminines, the Les Island Bacon Girls. my goodness gracious me. Well, I'm astounded. It does, isn't it? Well, good grief, that was absolutely tremendous, wasn't it? Absolutely, I'm sweating. Are you sweating, Nelly? Nelly sweating? It's probably that, mate. Well, just to quiet it down a bit, now we've got our fantastic, at enormous expense. I don't think I heard that one again. At enormous expense, we have the busker that never was, the most vibrant warbler of all time, Mr. John Rhodes.
Somebody stole my girl. Somebody stole my pal. Somebody came and took her away. She didn't even say she was leaving. The kisses I love so. He's getting now, I know. And I know that she would come to me if she could see her broken hearted, lonesome pal. Somebody stole my girl. Somebody stole my girl. Somebody stole my pal. Somebody came and took her away. She didn't even say she was leaving. The kisses I love so. He's getting now, I know. And I know that she would come to me if she could see her broken hearted, lonesome pal. Somebody stole my girl. I've never had a lot of luck with women, you know. I once went out with a girl, she was that cross-eyed that when she cried the tears run down her back. She had beautiful red hair all down her back, none on her head. Yes. The first time I met her, I'd taken the pig to the vet's. And she was in there, she got up and she says, "Isn't he ugly?" I says, "I don't know." I said, "He's not bad looking for a pig." She said, "Do you mind?" I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "Do you mind? I'm talking to the pig." I wonder where my baby is tonight. I wonder how my baby is tonight. I wonder where she's gone and how she's getting on. I wonder how my baby didn't write. If she comes back, I wonder what I do. I wonder, did she find somebody new? She didn't treat me fair. I know I shouldn't care. I wonder where my baby is tonight. I wonder where my baby is tonight. I wonder how my baby is tonight. I wonder where she's gone and how she's getting on. I wonder why my baby didn't write. She comes back, I wonder what I do. I wonder, did she Two cannibals sat eating a clown. One said to the other, does something taste funny to you? A fella went. A fella went to the circus. He went up to the boss and he said, can you give me a job? And he said, well, what can you do? He said, well, I eat hammers. He said, well, show us then. So he had this hammer. And he says, very good. He says, I'll give you a job. He says, I can't pay you full rate. He says, why is that? He said, well, you're only an amateur. Anyway, there's a cowboy sat at the bar, got his Stetson on, he'd gone up to New York, and this young lady comes in, sits by the side of him, gets a drink, has a look. She says, are you a cowboy? He says, well, ma'am, he says, I ride the range. He says, I herd the cattle. He says, I rope the stairs in a Brampton. He says, yeah, I think I'm a cowboy. He says, how about you? He says, she says, well, I'm just an office worker. She says, but don't try and tap me up. She says, why not? She says, because I'm a lesbian. She says, when I wake up in the morning, I'm thinking about women. When I go to work, I'm thinking about women. I says, when I get home at night, I'm thinking about women. When I go to bed, I'm dreaming about women. A few minutes later, another young lady comes and sits at the other side of him. And she says, are you a cowboy? He says, I thought you were, but I think I'm a lesbian. When the red dolly comes bobbing along, there'll be no more stopping when he starts throbbing that old sweet song. Wake up, you sleepyhead. Get up, get up, get out of bed. Cheer up, you're always right. Live, love, love and be happy. Or if I've been blue, now I'm walking through fields of flowers. Rain may glisten, but still I listen for hours and hours. I'm just a kid again, doing what I did again, singing this song. When the red robin comes bobbing along. When the red robin comes bobbing along.
John Rose, isn't he ready? Absolutely. Yeah. Where do we get him from? Obviously, at enormous expense. Right, now for something completely different here. We've next got some very mystery. So again, at enormous expense, we have from the deserts of the east, the sands of the Sahara, and the gritstone quarry from Edlington, we've got the Egyptians! We haven't got the Egyptians because I'm so dry, I've missed my Charlie. So maybe we ought to try for Charlie again. After 3. 1, 2, 3, I did say he was dead. Did you not remember that? Because I didn't remember the Charlie. So here we go. After 3. 1, 2, 3. He is dead. I think we'll have the guys at the back this time. Again. 1, 2, 3. Now that's what I call it, Charlie. Looking good, you baby, aren't you? Good. Right, go.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman.
Good evening, Charlie.
Now, this drink comes to you with the compliments of the entire Strawberry Island committee members.
Oh, God. Unbelievable.
I tell you what, Mr. Chairman, I'll get a quick sniff before I drink it.
Yes, it smells like them.
Comes with the same stipulation, you've got to down it in one.
Not again. I don't believe this game. Where do you get them from? In one?
Yeah.
I'll have a go. I'll have a go. I'll have a go.
Okay, everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You know why I forgot the Charlie, don't you?
Oh, by the way, Mr. Chairman, I have a little conundrum for you.
A conundrum?
A
I
conundrum.
nearly said that.
Can you tell me, why do hummingbirds hum?
Why do hummingbirds hum?
Because they forgot the words.
Don't really want to know that. Kindly leave this thing. Whoa! Oh my God. The wet floor, darling. Yes, I think we'll just wipe it up. We'll get a cloth. Oh, dear me. Well, after the Charlie gag, we might just get back to what I said before. Can we remember it? It was something about mystery, and we had to get up at enormous expense. Is that correct? Yeah. So at enormous expense from the deserts of the east, from the sands of the Sahara, and we're just wiping the floor for 2 minutes. Oh, we're turning this off. We have, and we bring you now, from the limestone quarry, the Egyptians! And of course, at enormous expense, we have the cinchers, the curviers, the licentious songbird, Miss Jane Goodwin.
He sent around a note, here's the very note, this is what he wrote, can't get away to marry you today, my wife won't let me. Well, I'm waiting at the church, waiting at the church, waiting at the church, when I found he left me in the lurch, oh how it did upset me. All at once he sent around a note, here's the very note, this is what he wrote, can't get away to marry you today, my wife won't let me. I'm a young girl and I've just come over from a country where they do things big. And amongst the boys I've got a lover, and since I've got a lover, why I don't care a fig. The boy I love is up in the gallery. The boy I love is looking now at me. There he is, can't you see, waving his handkerchief as merry as a robin that sings on a tree. The boy I love is up in the gallery. The boy I love is looking now at me. There he is, can't you see, waving his handkerchief as merry as a robin that sings on a tree. In the twilight, out in the beautiful twilight, they all go out for a walk, 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 the quiet old spoon and the talk, talk, talk. That's the time they all fall, just before the night. And many a grand little wedding is planned in the twilight, in the twilight, out in the beautiful twilight, they all go out for a walk, 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 the quiet old spoon and the talk, talk, talk. That's the time they all go, just before the night. And many a grand little wedding is planned in the twilight,
Oh dear, Miss Jane Goodwin, isn't she absolutely marvellous? What a songbird that girl is. Absolutely. She's beautiful. Yeah, my heart. Oh my word. Well, now we've got something quite different. And of course, at a... The exhilarating, the Shakespearean, the gossip of the Narrowboat world. with one of those days, Mr. Michael Eddystone.
It were one of them days when you got out of bed and oh, you wished that you'd never got home. Nothing went right, like milk had gone off and the handle fell off my cup. Dog starts to bark, it runs to the door. As the knocker starts making it in. I don't know, says the wife, I can't think for my life. Why, he always thinks it's for him. He opens the door and the dog rushes out, cocks its leg on the bloke on the step, and I had a good sniff, and the bloke looked quite miffed. I says, hey, he always does that, our chef. He says, I've got news. Well, I looked right confused. He said, you best sit yourself down, the bloke said. It's your old Auntie Flo. And I think you should know, I'm sorry to tell you, she's dead. You what, shouts the wife? Old Auntie Flo? We only saw her year before last. You'd have think she'd have said before she dropped dead with us being so close and all. I said, you'd best come in. And the dog bit his shin. I says, get down, Shep. Where are your manners? You'll break all your teeth. Get under the tea. Is he always like that, the bloke stammered? Only with strangers and folk you don't know, says the wife, with some pride in her tone. And with you being so thin and us letting you in, that bugger thinks you're a bone. He says, I think you should know I'm from Dundonnan, called the Solicitors, just down the road. I says, which dun are you? He says, Dun number 2, but I'll be first in a while, 'cause one's out. So we sat the bloke down. He says, her mind were quite sound and she's left all her money to you. There's thousands of quid. Wife says, ooh, never did. And the dog started chewing his shoe. He says, there's only one clause. You must look after her horse. I says, her horse? He says, aye, and her cat. I says, but we've got the dog. He says, that's not a problem. And he kicked it on bit where it sat. Well, the dog, it jumped up. I thought it's going to be sick, and it were right in middle of floor. So he took careful aim, and he kicked it again, and the dog skidded out the door. He says he'll not be bothering the cat and the horse. So if you'll just sign here, Mr. Clegg, I'll give you the stuff Flo left in her will. But Clegg lives next door, the wife said. So the bloke, he just left. Said he'd send us a bill for his pants and his shoes that were shreds. He says, it'll cost a few bob, but it's your bloody dog. And then he took himself off to see Clegg. Well, I told you before, it were one of them days. Should have stopped in me bed, don't you think? I'd have saved a few bob. And poor bloody dog wouldn't be cooling his nuts in the sink.
Michael Eddystone, what a character that is. We used to talk like that.